Hello, I'm Alex Brown, and I'd like to introduce you to the Spanning Pour Stop per Steel Deck Institute design tool. This tool allows you to check various sizes of regular or stiffened light gauge pour stop spanning between structural supports, where it behaves more similar to a beam. Let's jump in. The first thing you may notice is that this tool is a lot simpler than some of our other design tools. There are only a couple of inputs defining the deck and the concrete, which you can see here, and then a table with unstiffened and stiffened pour stop. And if you scroll down, there's some additional footnotes, information, and some more detailed pour stop information in the tables. The reason for that is this tool is really meant for a specific specialized use of light gauge pour stop. Traditionally, light gauge pour stop is supposed to be continuously supported. So that's in a scenario where it's sitting on top of a joist or a beam, blocking something underneath it, continuously supporting it. But in this scenario, this tool is going to allow you to span from one support to an adjacent one and tell you the size of that pour stop and what kind of flat width it's going to need. And the advantage there is that it can eliminate some of that supplemental framing potentially, so you won't need like a tube or block channel, something on this bearing surface here. So based on the required span and the required overhang lengths needed to achieve the edge of slab or edge of steel dimensions, that will be translated into the different sizes of pour stop and whether it requires stiffeners or not. So all of that is here. And then scrolling down just a little bit, I want to point to footnote number 4 here. So this refers to the SDI technical note, pour stops as beams, which is available on the Steel Deck Institute website as a free download. And that really goes over the technical theory behind this idea and how we're analyzing that pour stop piece. So let's get into an example. If we scroll back up to the top, we'll leave it as a composite deck input here, though we can check for various roof decks as well. You can see that updated here. So composite deck, we'll change that to a W3. And we do have an error message here. The specified condition is outside the scope here. That's because of this input right here. That 3.5 inches was left over from the B deck default value. We'll go ahead and change that to a 5-inch deep slab. And then the required length, we'll leave that at 5 foot as well. Overhang length defined here. Needs to be less than 6 inches. We'll punch that in at 5 inches. So with that change, you could see here that a lot of these values are no good because it needs 10 gauge material to achieve that 5-inch overhang. If I change that back to a 1-inch overhang, you can see we've got some additional options here. And if I scroll down, there's detailed calculations that go into a little more detail on what's governing and all the different scenarios that are being considered. And that's the Spanning Pour Stop per SDI design tool. It's a great tool for getting visibility on a non-traditional use of light gauge pour stop, both unstiffened and stiffened. And with that, happy specifying.